I have to hear the quote, pain pushes until vision pulls. The first time I heard that was back in 2021, the end of 2021, when I was going through a breakup of 5 years. And that quote has really helped propelled me to where I am today. Through all my trials and tribulations, I've learned to rise above the muck. It's so vital. It's so fucking vital. I heard that from Dr. Bernard Beckwith. Look him up if you don't know who he is. I didn't think I'd be doing my first video barefaced in my car. I had this vision of how I would send this message out. I didn't realize that I needed to send this message out until now. What a better time to give advice when you are down in the trenches yourself. I feel like it helps others relate more. See, I went to go get a 4-year degree, and then after that, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't really have a plan. I just always knew that education was the way, because that's just the household I was brought up in. My parents very much pushed college on me. I learned a lot more outside the classroom than I did inside the classroom. Extremely grateful though. Then I worked at a grocery store for 5 years. Shout out Trader Joe's. That was a great time. And after my breakup, I realized I needed to make a change. So then that's when I moved in with my childhood best friend, and it's been great. It's been a great fucking time. And now I'm just in a position where I don't know what's gonna happen. I quit a job that was toxic for me at Trader Joe's. I went through several jobs after that. I put myself into some very stupid situations, to say the least. So, because of that, I'm not making the best choices. I'm not really taking my responsibility seriously. And I have to really ask myself, what do I want in life? How am I going to get there? Because I realize that everything is it's basically a matrix. We live in a matrix. We have the ability to create the life we want. It doesn't have to be hard. We don't have to suffer. I am all about that. We do not have to fucking suffer. But why am I out here putting myself through suffrage? Why am I out here like scraping for money every goddamn month when I know what I want? I know that I want to put my art out there, but I'm fucking scared. I feel like I'm not alone in this, obviously. We all have a collective consciousness. I think there are so many people out there who want to put their best foot forward, but they're afraid because maybe it is very esoteric. Maybe it is very, very new to the world, that the world isn't ready. But guess what? We are all a unique expression in this world. We didn't come into this world, we came out of it. I'll let that sink in. We did not come into this world, we came out of it. Hmm. Right now I'm sitting here at my favorite beach. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Southern California, and I feel so damn grateful to live where I do. And I know that in any moment, all of this can be taken away from me. Everything that you know could be taken away from you in a freaking second. Life is so damn precious. So what are you doing? What am I doing? Living in fear. I don't 100% live in fear. But when it comes to taking risks to better my life, sometimes, not even sometimes, like a lot of the times, I put my toe in the water and then I take it right out and I'm like, I'm not down. Because water scares me. I'm afraid I'm gonna freaking drown. And then I feel stupid because when I peek over the ledge, I see the water is shallow. There's time to learn how to swim in the deep end. Obviously, the greater risk, the deeper the waters. I know it's a funny analogy, but I'm all about analogies, so bear with me. In this moment in time, I feel like everything is crumbling, but yet I feel so loved. I feel so supported. And the only thing that's holding me back is myself. We don't have to live in fear, because we're so supported when we have faith and we believe in ourselves. It's all about perspective. We need to stop living in victim consciousness, because victim consciousness keeps you at a certain level, which is lower vibrational levels. Sorry, nose is running. I'm not crying, you are. That's another thing. I have a problem with vulnerability. It's very difficult for me to cry in front of someone. I don't know when that happened, because I used to be such a sensitive girly, and I still am, but when it comes to showing my emotions, yeah, it's very difficult for me. If you are an artist out there and you just feel like you don't have a place in this world, let me tell you, you do. The world needs you now more than ever, especially if you live in the United States. If you know, you know. Everything is uncertain. So why stay attached to anything? Why stay attached to your ego? Why stay attached to this feeling of suffering? Because if you stay in those lower vibrations for a while, the universe thinks, oh, Val likes that feeling. Val doesn't mind being in that state of mind, so she's gonna stay there. And then when you try to get out of it, of course things are going to push you back, because the vibrations, the higher vibrations, aren't used to you being there. I don't know if I'm making sense, but there's always going to be bumps in the road, test, if you will. And it's a matter of you gathering up that strength and rising above. So are you gonna rise above? Because I know I'm fucking gonna rise above. And no matter what comes my way, I know that it's to propel me into the direction I know I need to be in. Shit, I woke up this morning feeling kind of crappy. I hopped in my car and I came to my meditation spot. Brought myself a book, which 10 out of 10 recommend. I like to keep my book in covers because I don't like the mythy just to know what I'm reading in the streets. Let me show you. Letting Go, The Power of Surrender. A friend gave this to me. I'm very grateful for that. Girl, the power of surrender. You know what? I didn't even think I was gonna make a video today. Looking shabbily. I didn't think I was gonna be in this position today, but here we are. You know what? We are gonna read a chapter in here. It's about self-empowerment. On the level of courage, the emphasis is on doing. We already know that we are capable of providing for our own needs and for those of others. And we know that if we are willing to put forth the effort, we can obtain what we want. Thus, people on the level of courage are the doers of the world, because we can only give away what we ourselves already have. People on the level of courage are able to be supportive and encouraging of others. This is because they are able to give as well as receive. And there is a balance between giving and receiving that occurs naturally. The levels of consciousness up to this point are concerned primarily with gain. Now, on the level of courage, there is a greater power and energy. We have the ability to give to others because other people are no longer being looked at primarily as means of help, survival, or support. That's on God. When we are in the state of courage, we sense our own inner power, strength, and self-worth. We know we have the capacity to make a difference in the world, not just gain something from it for ourselves. Because of the inner self-confidence, we are much less concerned with security. The emphasis is no longer on what people have, but upon what they do and have become. With courage, there is a willingness to take chances and let go of former securities. I'm sorry for all the noise. People are leaving the beach, I think. There is a willingness to grow and benefit from new experiences. This involves the capacity to admit mistakes without indulging in guilt and self-recrimination. Oh my God. I feel like I'm popcorn reading and I'm embarrassed that I could not pronounce that word. Anyway, our sense of self-worth is not diminished by looking at areas that need improvement. We are able to admit the presence of problems without being diminished. As a result, energy, time, and effort are put into self-improvement. On this level, statements of intention and purpose are much more powerful, and envisioned results tend to manifest. We are much more enterprising and creative because our energies are not drained by the constant preoccupation with emotional or physical survival. Because of greater flexibility, there's willingness to examine issues with a view to changing overall meaning and context. There is a willingness to risk shifting paradigms. A paradigm is a whole worldview, and it is only limited by what we view as possible. As old ways of looking at things are challenged, our worldview begins to stretch and expand. That which was previously considered to be impossible becomes possible and eventually is experienced as a new dimension of reality. There's the capacity to look within ourselves, to examine our belief systems, ask questions, and seek new solutions. On the level of courage, we are willing to take self-improvement courses, learn consciousness techniques, and risk the journey within to seek our own true self and inner reality. There is a willingness to experience uncertainty, periods of confusion, and temporary upset, because underneath the temporary discomfort, we have a long-term transcendent goal. Okay, I need to... Motherfuckers want to be loud. Okay. The mind that is operating on the level of courage makes such statements as, I can handle it. We'll make it. The job will get done. We can see this through. All things shall pass. If we test a person's muscle strength with kinesiology, oh my God, you know what I'm saying. When in the state of courage, the level of I can handle it. I'm gonna read that again. If we test a person's muscle strength, kinesiology, when in the state of courage, the level of I can handle it, they will test positive and remain strong to our challenge. Although there is still vulnerability to negative thoughts or energies, such as those that emanate from fluorescent lights or artificial sweeteners, the bioenergy field is more radiant than that of the lower negative states. Because courage is a stronger, more resilient energy field, physical illnesses are less likely to be a prominent aspect of life. There may be chronic residuals of illnesses that originated from the lower levels of consciousness, but they are generally not stabilized. In courage, there is an overall sense of strength and well-being. I didn't know how much I needed to hear that. I really didn't. And I hope that whoever watches this, it resonates with you. Remember, the world needs you. Live with integrity. Do things with heart. So wherever you are, Jesus Christ. Talk about the universe testing your patience. So wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope this resonates with you the best way. Take care.